Hey everyone, so today I'm going to be unboxing and putting together this Fit to Flaunt fitness pole. I have that covered there with my hand because it has some of my information on the box, but this is how it arrived. It came via UPS earlier that day. I did open it just to make sure that it was the pole I ordered. These two little tubes here are the ones I opened. It had the two extension poles inside. Okay, so I just wanted to make sure that I ordered the silver pole, as they do have a pink pole. So that is the extension parts, and then on the ends are the longer poles. But we're going to go ahead and unbox it, and I'm also going to talk about the pieces that come with it. So the first piece is going to be the cover part. This I will show you guys in more detail later on. I actually don't use that on any of my poles. And this is one of the extensions. That's the longer extension. And then this one is the shorter extension. Depending on your ceiling height, you may need both, one, or you may need none. So in this video, I ended up using one, and you guys will see that later on. But in another area in my house, I actually don't need no extension. So want to make sure you measure your ceilings and add the extension according to the height. So that is pole B. I believe that is the pole that goes connected to the base, so it goes on the bottom first. And then this pole is pole A, and this one goes on top. You can see at the bottom part it has a black pole, and that's going to be what extends your pole and makes it taller and makes it kind of basically stay put in the ceiling. So all of the poles were very thoroughly packed, but at least you know that your poles will arrive safe and secure. So here's the base part. This is what's going to go on the floor. That is what you're going to attach your pole to. Just an FYI, this box is pretty heavy. It says it weighs like 31 pounds. It does feel heavier than that. It doesn't have like any handles where you could just like lift it up and carry it. So just keep that in mind if you live in a building that has no elevators, or if your delivery person likes to leave your packages downstairs. You may need some help bringing it to your apartment. So here is the top part. This is what's going to go on your ceiling and what you connect the top part of your pole to. Also, you don't need to purchase any other tools. This is what it comes with. It's two little metal rods and a little screwdriver. I do recommend that you buy a stud finder if you don't have one already, and you should place your pole underneath the studs in your ceiling. So a stud finder is going to help you find where the studs are. There goes Shelly. And that way you make sure your pole is nice and secure. So make sure you put it underneath the studs in your ceiling. And that's the instructions. The instruction booklet is probably about 2 or 3 pages. Very easy instructions to follow. So I'm going to start putting it together. This is the base. And here you see me put one of the extension pieces. Now I'm putting this small extension piece. Later on you will see me switch that out. I really don't know what I was thinking putting the small extension. I ended up needing the larger extension instead. So after you put any extensions that you need to the base, again, you may need 1, 2, you may need none. After that, you're going to take the 2 large poles, the A and B pole, and you're going to connect them. And it just screws right in. Make sure it's nice and tight. And then you're going to connect that large pole to the base. So once you have the 2 large poles connected, here you see me attaching it to the base. Then I'm realizing, wait a minute, I think I might need the larger extension. And you see here, I'm comparing it, and I put that pole on top of the larger extension, and that one worked out better. I have two poles and I always need the same extension part. I'm not sure why I decided to use the shorter extension instead. But here I switched it out, basically just screwing everything in. Another little tip, the pole comes on static. Make sure you're putting together the pole on static. Do not take it off static until you are finished setting it up. So that's the pole. You see it's not even like secure in the ceiling or anything like that, and it wasn't like flopping over or moving around or anything. So this part is very important. See that little black rod inside the silver pole? That is what's going to make your pole taller. That's what's going to pretty much go on your ceiling, and as you tighten it, it's going to apply pressure and make sure your pole stays pressure mounted, right? So to save me some time and some arm strength, I'm extending the pole a little bit while it's down. All right, you see that little silver ring that I'm twisting right there? You want to make sure that that is not on top of the pole, okay? Make sure it's sort of like in the middle area. That way you have enough, like you can extend the pole. You can extend that black pole part. I'm so sorry, but it's kind of difficult to explain it. But that little silver circle ring, it's going to lock in your pole. Once you're done and it's secure, your pole is secure, you're going to spin that little circle silver part all the way down and lock it. So it's going to be touching the top of your pole there. All right. But you want to make sure that it's not locked, because then you're not going to be able to extend that black pole into the ceiling and secure your pole. I hope that made sense. So here I'm using that little metal rod stick thing that came with it to tighten it. And this part is very helpful if you have another person, because you can have someone hold the pole in place, make sure it's straight while you tighten it up top. I was doing this by myself, so I was like moving the pole around. I would tighten it just enough for it to stay in place, then get off my step ladder, make sure it is straight. If I had to move something around, I would loosen it, move it around a little bit, and just keep doing that until it's completely straight. A little tip, if you're doing this by yourself, I have a mirror in front of the pole. So while I was standing on my step stool, you see me looking over sometimes. I'm looking in the mirror to make sure that the pole looks straight in the mirror. And then I'm also getting down and I'm checking it from all angles. So from the one corner of my room to the other corner, making sure it looks straight from all angles. And then you can tighten it when you know that it's straight. So here, this little part is tricky as well. This is the cover part. Notice I didn't put this on my pole. It's not really necessary. Your pole is not going to get damaged or anything or not work properly if you don't have this on. But I just showing you guys how you would place it. So you're going to take the little screws off the side of that metal ring there. Then you would place it like this and then put the screws back into those holes. And that is what keeps your cover part secure. You want to add that cover part over the pole before you fully tighten it and fully put on that large square part. All right. So here is the pole. Looks lovely, nice and secure. You want to do some spins and kind of tug at it a little, make sure that it's fully secure. So here you can see I was just showing you guys, I used the larger base. That's how the smaller base looks in my hand. And then this is where the two large poles meet. And as you can see up there, that black middle rod is showing. Personally, I don't care. I don't mind it at all. And then you can see the very top of the pole, there's that little silver ring, and it's nice and tightened. So here, I'm showing you guys the cover. All right, so again, you would put this, that cover part is going to cover that black rod. You would put this on the pole before you fully tighten it and secure it, okay? instead of using that, I use this, and this actually came with my X pole. So it's just like a foam piece, and you cut it in the middle, and then you can put that around the black rod if you want. I really don't use anything, or sometimes I place it, really just depends. It's more of an aesthetic thing that doesn't really matter to me. Now I'm going to show you how to take your pole off of static mode. Again, do not put your pole up on spin mode. Do not take these little screws out until your pole is fully secure, and then you can put it on spin mode. So if you notice at the base there's two little stickers, and those stickers have arrows on it. It's pointing to those little holes right there. Okay, you're going to use this little key screwdriver thing. In those two holes there are screws, and that is what's keeping your pole in static. Take those screws out, your pole is in spin mode. So just go ahead and unscrew those. One of my screws was a little bit on the tighter side. If you feel like the screws are not coming out, make sure you're unscrewing it the correct way. Okay, so try both ways. And then there you go, your pole is on spin. To make your pole static, you're going to put those screws right back in and screw them in. Make sure they're nice and secure. So you also make sure you don't lose the little screws. They're easy to lose. Just keep them somewhere safe. That way, when you want to put your pole on static, you have no issues with that. But that's about it. As far as cleaning, I keep a spray bottle with some rubbing alcohol, spray the pole down. You might have to like break in your pole a little bit. If you're new to pole, it might feel slippery, it might feel cold. But yeah, just spin around, do a few basic spins, do some climbs. That's all I'm doing here. I'm just like, I did a gazillion spins, climbs, and all of that. I just wanted to make sure that it is fully secure before I start like getting on the pole and going crazy. You know what I mean? Like doing inverts and stuff. So you just want to make sure that it is nice and secure. So my top area right there was a little bit greasy, so you see I'm just wiping it down. I have alcohol in that bottle, and I do use some grip. I will link the grip I use below, and that's what I'm wiping on the pole. So that's about it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this video was helpful. I really love the pole. I'll link all information below. If you have any questions, let me know, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.